Hello everyone, my name is Professor Semino and welcome to the S.T.A.R YouTube channel. On this channel, my colleagues and I will talk to you about some of the major topics that are involved with space travel. Today, I will personally be teaching you about what it's like to exercise beyond our Earth's atmosphere. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. On Earth, having a good workout regimen has always been important. The average human should exercise about 30 minutes per day, and of course in space it is extra important due to this loss of gravity. On the International Space Station, the astronauts are required to work out for 2 hours a day. 2 hours! But before we get into the techniques and workouts that they do there, let's look at what will happen if they do not maintain a proper workout regimen. The first issue we are going to look at is muscle atrophy. Muscle atrophy is simply defined as the wasting away of muscle. Just as a rock can break down from water, your muscles can break down due to a lack of exercise. When an astronaut experiences muscle atrophy, the usual symptoms are one limb could be smaller than the other, or just increased weakness. Muscle atrophy at its worst can lead to loss of muscle cells, which is actually called sarcopenia. Another issue or ailment that we are looking at is called the deterioration of skeleton, also known as osteoporosis. The definition of osteoporosis is when your bones become so weak and brittle that even the slightest movement can cause a break or a fracture. The weakness is caused when the new bone being created can't keep up with the loss of the old bone when there is a fracture. Along with osteoporosis, with the muscle, astronauts can also experience what I said called sarcopenia, which is the loss of body mass in your muscles. Sarcopenia is described as a loss of skeletal muscle mass and is actually a cause for osteoporosis. As I said earlier, this condition is an effect of muscle atrophy when muscles start to lose cells. Sarcopenia causes decreased muscle stress, problems with mobility, as long with many fractures. The final ailment that is a result of non-adequate exercising is called reverse blood flow. Implied by its name, this is caused when the flow of blood goes backwards rather than being pumped out of the heart. This topic will be discussed in a separate video, so if you want to check it out, the link will be in the description. So as you can see, all these ailments relate to one another, causing a domino effect of worse and worse conditions. Muscle atrophy can cause sarcopenia, and sarcopenia can cause osteoporosis. Now that we have looked at what will happen if an astronaut does not maintain adequate physical activity, let's now look at the different workouts and technique an astronaut can do to stay healthy. There is another hypothetical way astronauts can work out. This is in an artificial gravity room, which is actually something our company has been researching and is planning to implement in our new mission, Operation Athena. To learn more about artificial gravity, go check out the video on our channel about that also. That link will also be in the description. So now that we are done with that, let's get on with these examples. Possibly the most used exercise machine on an International Space Station would have to be the treadmill. The astronaut wears a vest with resistant bands that keep the astronaut center and on the treadmill while they're running. An example of an astronaut using a treadmill in space is actually British astronaut Tim Peake, who ran a full marathon while in space. He actually holds the world record for the shortest marathon in space for a time of 4 hours and 24 minutes. Pretty impressive if I do say so myself. The next example of exercises is actually the stationary bike. The stationary bike in space is relatively the same on Earth, such as one you would see in Planet Fitness. But instead, the seat and pedals are actually floating above the ground. The astronaut actually holds on to handles and have their feet locked into the pedals, so when they start biking, make sure they don't float away while they're biking. The final exercise machine that can be used in space and is possibly the most flexible and interchangeable is called the ARED. Short for Advanced Resistive Exercise Device, the ARED has capabilities to work out every single muscle group in the human body. They focus on squats, lifting weights, deadlifts, calf raises, and multiple arm and ab workouts. So now that we looked over these topics, let's look back on what we learned today. We looked at the different problems and ailments that astronauts can face if they don't maintain a proper physical health, such as sarcopenia, muscle atrophy, osteoporosis, and even reverse blood flow. And we saw what each condition does to the human body. We then looked at all the different devices that astronauts can use in space, such as the stationary bike, treadmill, and the ARED, to make sure they maintain physical health. So that concludes our lesson today about the proper workouts in space and what will happen if these astronauts do not maintain a proper workout regimen. Make sure to check out all the other videos on the physical and mental health in astronauts in space, as well as other videos on certain other topics. So, once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.